Hi grades 3, today is Wednesday, April the 28th, and for your math today we are looking at review 6, and today we'll be working with questions 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so let's get started. So question 8 says, please have your review open to your books open to page 107. Okay, so I'm looking at your workbooks, page 107. I'm gonna read question 5 for us, then we will go ahead and do the question together. Okay, so it says Roy has $85. Sean has 3 times as much money as Roy. How much money does Sean have? So Sean has 3 times as much as Roy, and Roy has 85, right? So that means we are going to take Roy's money, which is, so I'm doing question 5, we're going to multiply it, right? So we will have Roy's money, $85, and Sean has 3 times as much as Roy. So we are going to multiply Roy's money to Sean's times 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and take up your multiplication sheet, or I would encourage you to do it without looking at your multiplication sheet. And at this time, you can also pause the video and then you can do the question on your own and then unpause the video and watch it all the way to the end to see if you got it correct. So let's go ahead. 3 times 5 gives me 15. I carry my 1 over. 3 times 8 gives me 24 plus 1, 25, right? So how much money did Sean have? Sean has $255. Okay, that is question 5. I hope you're doing it with me, and I hope you got your answer correct. Let's move on to question 6. And grades 3, at any point, if you think that I'm going too fast, you are welcome to pause the video and then do it. Okay, question 6, so I'm going to read the next one, okay? Gary collected 48 postcards. He collected 4 times as many postcards as Ryan. How many postcards did Ryan collect? Okay, so Gary collected 48 postcards and he collected 4 times as many postcards as Ryan, right? So Gary collected, let's do it in a picture. Gary collected, we know that he collected 48, and we know he collected 4 times as many as Ryan, right? So we should have 4 bars for Gary, G. This is question 6. Okay, so G is for Gary, and then we know Ryan has, so he collected 4 times as many postcards as Ryan. So this would be Ryan's, right? But we need to find out, well, how many does Ryan actually have? So we go ahead and we know this is all 48. This all equals to 48. And how many bars are there? There are 4 bars, and we're trying to find out 1 bar. What is this 1 bar worth? So we are going to do 48, and we are going to divide it to 4, and that will give us what is the worth of each bar. So we'll find out how much did Ryan collect. So let's go ahead. How many 4s do I need to make a 4? I need only 1, right? Then I do a little multiplication sign to remind me that I need to go back and multiply. So 4 times 1 gives me 4. And I subtract it. I put a 0. Then I bring my 8 down. And 4 times 2 gives me, or 2 4s give me 8. And I'm left with nothing. So how many did Ryan collect? Ryan collected 12 postcards. There. Okay, is question 6 for us. Now let's go ahead and move to question 7. Again, grades 3, at any point, if you feel this is too fast, please pause the video, do the question with me, and then move on to the next one. Okay, question 7 says, Kathy bought 1 pound of flour. She used 9 ounces of it to bake a cake. How much flour did she have left? So 1 pound equals 16 ounces. And how many ounces did she use? According to this question, she used 9 ounces. So let's go ahead, because 1 pound equals 16 ounces, and she has 16 ounces, right? Kathy bought 1 pound of flour. So we know she bought 16 ounces, because that would equal 1 pound. So 16 ounces, and how much did she use? She used 9 ounces to bake a cake. So we do 16 ounces, take away 9 ounces, and we are left with, so we cannot do 6, if you have 6, you cannot give me 9. So we put a 0, it becomes a 16. 16 take away 9, and we are left with 7 ounces, right? So how many ounces did she use? She had, how much was left over? 7 ounces were left. Okay, let's go on to our next question. Question 8. Okay, so question 8 says, 8 bags of onions and some potatoes weigh 5 kg. Each bag of onions weighs 450 grams. Find the weight of the potatoes. So we know that there are 8 bags of onions, right? Let's draw it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and some potatoes, right? How much do they weigh? All together they weigh 5 kg, right? Then they're saying each bag of onion weighs 450. So we know each of these onion bags are 450 grams, right? So 450, 450, 450, 450, 450, 450, 450, and 450. There. These are onions, and each bag weighs 450 grams. Now they're saying find the weight of the potatoes. So we are trying to find this, because these are potatoes. We know onions weigh each bag. There are 8 of them. Each bag weighs 450. We are trying to find out potatoes. But all together we know that they weigh 5 kg. 1 kg equals 1,000 gram, which means how much does it weigh altogether? 5,000 gram. Okay, let's keep this in our mind, but let's move on. This is the second part. Let's focus on this first. So we have 458 of these. So how are we going to find the potatoes weigh? Well, we first of all need to find out how much are the onions, right? Because we know altogether they weigh 5 kg, which is 5,000 grams, but they want us to know just the potatoes. So we know instead of adding all these up, that's going to take us forever. So let's go ahead, and we know there are 8 bags of potatoes, right? And we are going to multiply that 8 to 450, right? So let's go ahead and let's do 450 times 8. So let's go ahead and see what do we get for onions? How much would do the onions weigh? Okay, so 8 times 0 gives me 0. 8 times 5 gives me 40. So I put my 0 here, and I take my 4 at the top. And 8 times 4 gives me 24. So 24 plus 4 gives me 28. Sorry, 8 times 4 gives me 32, not 24. I'm sorry. 8 times 4 gives me 32, plus 4 gives me 36. So altogether, how much do the onions weigh? The onions weigh 3 kg, because the number is 3,600. The onions weigh 3 kg and 600 gram. Now, we still haven't found, well, how much do the potatoes weigh? Now that we know that onions weigh out of 5 kg or 5,000 gram, the onions weigh 3,600 grams. What do you think we need to do to find the weight of the potatoes? Are we going to add these two numbers or subtract? If you said subtract, you are absolutely right. So the part 2 of this problem is we are going to take the entire weight of the onions and the potatoes, and the entire weight, and we're going to subtract onions out of the entire bag, and that will, whatever we'll be left with, that will be the weight of the potatoes. So let's go ahead and do 5,000, because 5 kg means 5,000, because 1 kg equals 1,000, 2 kg 2,000 grams, 3 kg 3,000 grams, 4 kg 4,000 grams, 5 kg 5,000 grams, right? So 5,000, take away the weight of the onions, which is 3 kg or 3,600 grams. So subtract it. Okay, you can pause the video right now, grades 3, and do the subtraction on your own, and then you can unpause the video and watch all the way to the end to see if you got it correct. Okay, so let's go ahead. 0 take away 0 leaves me with 0. 0 take away 0 leaves me with 0. If you have 0, you cannot give me 6, so I'm going to borrow from this 5. I'll have 4 left here, and I'll have 10 over there. So 10 take away 6 gives me 4, and 4 take away 3 gives me 1. So, what do the potatoes weigh? The potatoes weigh 1 kg and 400 gram. So, what would be your sentence? The potatoes weigh 1 kg and 400 gram. There we go. Okay, let's move on to our last question for today, which is question 9. Again, grades 3. At any point, please feel free to pause the video and finish the question and then move on to the next one. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do question 9. Okay, so question 9 says, Sally bought 4 rolls of ribbon to make 10 bows. Each roll of ribbon cost $5. So we have 2 parts. We need to find the total cost of 4 rolls of ribbon. We need to find the cost of making 1 bow. Okay, so we know that each roll of ribbon cost 5 and she bought 4. So for part A, it is if 1 bow, we need to find the, we haven't found how much does 1 bow cost, right? So we know that she bought 4 rolls of ribbon and each roll cost $5. How much did it cost altogether? 4 times 5. I was about to write the answer. 4 times 5. Please go ahead and check for what does 4 times 5 gives us, or write down what do you think 4 times 5 gives us, or what do 4 5s give us? They give us 20, right? So that means how much did 4 rolls of ribbon cost? $1.20. That was part A. Now let's go to part B because part A is connected to part B. So now we know that 4 rolls cost $1.20. find the cost of the ribbon for making one bow, right? So what are we going to do? There are 10 bows, and we know that the rolls cost 20, so we are going to do 20 divided by 10, right? So let's go ahead and do 20 divided by 10, and what do we get? How many tens give us 20? 2 tens, right? So 2 tens give us 20. We subtract, we are left with nothing, which means each bow cost, so one bow was made for $2. Okay, so she made one bow. One bow cost her $2. Does that make sense? Okay, so we are done our math for Wednesday, and I hope you did well. I will see you next time for a different math lesson.